Hello everyone, my name is Wahida Kazi and today I'm going to present on research studies and various types of research studies. There are mainly two types of research studies. One is observational studies and clinical trial. Today I'm going to focus only on observational studies. Observational studies are various types. These are case report, case series report, cross-sectional study, case control study, and cohort study. Case reports, these are objective clinical report of a case. These are objective because usually the researcher or the clinicians produce the report based on a case. Case report includes clinical characteristics and outcome of the selected case. The number of subjects under study is usually one. That's why it's called case report. There is no control group to compare with that particular case. For example, a 65-year-old woman with liver cirrhosis is a case. Case series report, on the other hand, is also objective clinical report, but for a group of subjects or case. Report includes clinical characteristics and outcome of the group under study. Number of study subject, usually more than one. It is a number of study subject is always more than one for series report, case series report. There is no control groups to compare with those cases. Cross-sectional study, it is cross-sectional because it is done at a particular time. Subject under study are contacted only once. Information such as presence or absence of a disease or other variable of interest are determined in a particular time from each member of the study population. So each member are usually contacted once, not more than once. Many cross-sectional study are descriptive and also known as survey. Some cross-sectional study also carry out to investigate association between a disease outcome and a possible risk factor. For example, number of overdose-related death among drug users in a community would be a cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional study cannot determine temporal sequences of cause and the effects. So we may not get all details, the time factors, the relations, details relation among the risk factor and the effects on the cases. Case control study. In case control study, there are two groups. One group is the study subject with a disease or condition is known as cases. And the other group, those are the unaffected group are the control. So in case control study, the case will be compared with unaffected control in terms of their past exposure with one or more risk factor of interest. For example, history of cigarette smoking among cases of lung cancer and control who doesn't have lung cancer but also has a history of cigarette smoking. Case control study is a retrospective study because we look back, we know the cases and controls and then look back mm, that regarding their risk factor. These study determine causal relationship between risk factor and disease outcome. Main challenge of this kind of study is to select appropriate control because control need to be as similar as the case in many factors except the disease or outcome related factor. So the case has the disease or outcome of interest, but control doesn't have, but they need to be similar in many terms such as age, gender, maybe the ethnicity, sometimes their occupation and other factors. Um, Common challenges are recall biases because case and control may not have same capacity to recalling exposure related event. Sometimes control may not know many, forget about the risk exposure, and sometimes case may forget about the risk exposure because of their current clinical condition or the health condition. And inaccuracy of the retrospective data is not unusual. Study of rare cases are suitable by case control study. That is one of the criteria of case control study, which is not a criteria for cohort study. The cohort study, the study population groups are those who have exposed to a risk factor and followed over time and compared with a group who doesn't expose to a risk factor. So we select two groups. One is exposed and another one is not exposed, but we yet don't know who will be the future case and who doesn't. Outcome would be a disease among these groups. Cohort study is longitudinal study because we are looking forward to future to see the outcomes because of the exposure. It is prospective study as selected group are followed up for long period of time to see the outcome. The study is unsuitable for studying rare outcome because it will be required to follow a huge number of people if we consider to study a rare case, which is not feasible all time for in terms of financial and long-term follow-up. Loss to follow-up is one of the big challenge. Careful selection of group are also very important to compare outcomes and to avoid influence from other confounding factors on the outcome. So that's all about cohort study. And in my future video, I will discuss some measures that we can yield from case control and cohort study. These are odd ratio, um, absolute and attributable risks, and other measures. So thank you so much for your time and watching my video. Thank you.